What's up, guys? This is Dr. Jim, your CBD expert, and I'm here to go live and interactive with you today. We have a lot of information we want to cover. When you get online, I want you to go ahead and just comment, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm excited to share this information with you today. A lot of really good information. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about inflammation and CBD oil. And that's really important because, if you asked me 3 or 4 months ago, well, what do you think about CBD oil? Well, I would have told you 3 or 4 months ago, I don't know anything. And the truth is, I thought you were just probably trying to get high, if you want to know the truth. My wife and I always joke that we were raised in the 80s in the time of Nancy Reagan's Just Say No. And so anything that had to do with marijuana, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not really interested in that. But then what started to happen was, as I started researching the benefits of CBD oil, and there's a reason I did that. So most of you know, I'm Dr. Jim Holland. I was actually ranked the #1 chiropractor in Richmond, Virginia last year, and I have a lot of patients. I mean, thousands of them. And there's a bunch of them with arthritis and pain and all kinds of inflammatory conditions. And what they need is they're looking for help. They're looking for a lot of help. And I'm always on the search for how can I help patients more? How can I help, how can I help these people? And so that's what led me to CBD oil. So I started researching CBD oil just a while back, just a couple months ago. And what I found out was literally changed my mind. Not only did it change my mind, but it changed my life. Not only did it change my life, but it is currently changing my patients' lives every single day because of the information that I learned. And so that's what I want to talk about with everybody tonight. I think you can learn a lot. If you currently deal in CBD oil and you're a rep for a CBD oil company, this is great information for anybody that just wants to know why should they take it. Okay, I'm not going to be, I'm currently a rep for a CBD oil company now, because I went out and did my research and I found the best place to get it and with exactly what we need. But I'm not gonna talk about that specifically in this video. This is really for anybody that wants to educate themselves or someone else about CBD oil and why they should be taking it and what makes it beneficial. All right. Thank you, Aaron Parker, loving those CBD products. Thank you, Brianne and Rebecca, for joining the watch. This is also going out to all those people all over the country. Put your name, where you're from, and then also, if you wouldn't mind, whether you're watching it live or on replay, that's the big thing, live or a replay. I like to know who's seeing it and when. So thank you, Linda, for getting on. That's great. So a couple things. As you can see, people are commenting how much they do love these products. They are changing my patients' lives. And so the big topic tonight was we're talking about inflammation. All right. Now, if you're in natural healthcare like I am, if there's a common theme across across all of natural healthcare, which is that inflammation has its hand in literally every disease process around. So you could go through every disease process there is. You could talk about heart disease. So people want to believe that cholesterol is the reason why people have heart attacks. Well, the truth is they've done the research and they found out that out of people that have heart attacks, 50% of them have high cholesterol and 50% of them have normal cholesterol. So if it was really cholesterol that was causing heart attacks, wouldn't everybody with high cholesterol have it and everybody with normal cholesterol wouldn't have a heart attack? But that's not the case. So what they found out was, and they actually found out that people with really, really high cholesterol often never have a heart attack. So what's the difference there? Well, what they found out is when you get inflammation on the inside of your arterial walls, it causes damage, and then that allows the cholesterol to stick, and now you clog arteries and you get a heart attack. So is it really cholesterol the problem, or is it inflammation? And so in natural healthcare, we believe that the number one cause there, or the problem there, is inflammation. You can talk about arthritis. Now, this is really important. I am not your doctor tonight. You're not my patient tonight. And so any of the information that I give you tonight is not specifically as in a doctor-patient relationship. This is really between you and your doctor. But I want you to take this information and use it as you will. But this is what's important. The disclaimer that I give tonight, I don't claim to treat any diseases, diagnose or treat any diseases, nor is CBD oil really designed to diagnose or treat any diseases. But this is the deal. Inflammation has its hand in so many different problems. So one of the ways that you look at it is this. How about anything that you might have that ends in itis? All right, something you need to know about the root word itis. Itis means inflammation. So if you have arthritis, well, that arthros means joint, itis means inflammation. So if you have inflammation in your joints, CBD oil works with inflammation. If you have colitis, inflammation in your colon, that is inflammation in your colon. So anything that ends in itis. So that's really important. So I don't claim to treat any diseases, but if you have something that you know you have and it ends in itis, well, guess what? That's inflammation. And what we can say is that we know by the research that CBD oil has an incredible effect on inflammation. And if we look at your body from a natural healthcare perspective, and we believe that inflammation has its hands in literally almost every disease process that there is out there, then my question is, how important would it be to you to help reduce your body's inflammation? Well, it sounds like it would be really important. Because we're also talking about, you can Google it, inflammation and cancer, okay? Now, once again, I do not believe, or I'm not saying that CBD oil or that anything that I would recommend is diagnosing or treating cancer. But if you look at the research, cancer, a lot of the theories behind cancer is that it is a response to a chronic inflammation. And that inflammation affects your DNA, cells re-replicating, and as they re-replicating, they mutate, and then those mutating replications become cancer. So the question is how important do you think it would be to positively impact your inflammation? It sounds really important to me, right? So what are some other things? So another really big one, let's talk about the brain. We'll talk about things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Now, once again, I do not contend that CBD oil diagnoses or treats Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's. But if you look at the research, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, there is a tremendous amount of brain inflammation, oxidative damage in the brain. And if there's oxidative damage in the brain, and there's inflammation, and if you can reduce that inflammation, clean up oxidative damage, then you can have a positive impact, either in and once again, not treating it, but what if you reduce your body's inflammation, you reduce your brain's inflammation, so that over your lifetime, we're not talking about treating any disease, but that we're actually talking about how can we avoid a whole bunch of problems that if we kept our inflammation under control, we wouldn't deal with in the first place. Now, I'm also here to tell you that I don't believe that CBD oil is the only thing that would have an impact on that. Certainly, your lifestyle choices, how you eat. Do you eat an anti-inflammatory style of eating? Do you eat too much sugar? Do you eat too many processed grains? All of those things create inflammation. So I don't recommend eating like garbage and then taking CBD oil to try to fight against it. That doesn't make any sense, okay? But if you follow a clean eating style and you add CBD oil, which will help reduce inflammation in your body, then guess what? That's going to have a really positive change in your health. And that's what this is all about. So we know from the beginning, from all of the research, and if you just go Google PubMed and just go on PubMed and look at the number of research studies on what CBD oil just the research that's already been done. Okay, so the United States government literally went out and patented CBD oil for its neuroprotective and antioxidant effects. Did you guys hear me on that? Give me a thumbs up or a like if you understand what that means. That means the United States government has already said, yeah, we know what this does. We know that it protects your brain, and we know that it's an antioxidant. So think about this. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, okay? People take vitamin C all the time to prevent colds and illness and to, clean up free radicals. Well, guess what? The United States government already has a patent on that. They know CBD oil does that. That's awesome. So if they're already saying they know that it does that, that's what we want. Doesn't everybody want to reduce their inflammation, to protect their brain, and to clear up free radicals? I mean, those are life-changing natural health kind of events, and that's what we want, all right? So thank you guys for all the thumbs up. I love it. We're reaching a lot of people. This is awesome. I wasn't sure how this was going to go tonight. It was really last minute. I highly recommend before you do a Facebook Live, you clear it with your wife or your husband first, so that they would actually be at home, and you don't have to get dinner ready for the kid and animals running everywhere. And so, yeah, they're all locked in different rooms now, so that's why we can do this. So, important. Inflammation driving all kinds of health conditions. If you have any health condition that ends in itis, that means you have inflammation. That's an important thing, okay? So, what does CBD oil do? Now, I want to clear up some misinformation or some concerns that people had, because I know even my wife, my son had a spot on his arm. It's a spot that ends in ima. I don't want to say any diagnosable things, but it's a spot that oftentimes it's an inflammatory response, immune system imbalance. It rhymes with noxema, but he had it for like 5 or 6 years, and it would flare up and calm down and flare up and calm down. And literally I took the CBD oil and put 2 drops on it, rubbed it in, and in 5 days it's completely gone. In the comments below this video, I'm gonna send you the before and after pictures, because I don't think you're gonna believe it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Gone in 5 days. And so what's so cool about that is that just proves part of the anti-inflammatory impact that this has. But while I was doing that, my wife posted pictures of my son's arm and the impact that it had on his spot on his arm. And we got some responses back. And people are like, oh, well, Dr. Jim's doing CBD oil. We're not really sure that's legal. Hey, you might want to check, just to clear up any concerns of any of my family or my friends or my patients. Dr. Jim and Nicole do not have a pot farm in our basement, okay? We are talking about CBD oil from industrial hemp. So there's 2 different ways to think about CBD oil. One is from medical marijuana, all right? So if you went to a dispensary and you're talking about dispensary CBD oil, it is most likely very high in THC. And THC is it's like tetra-9 hydra whatever. THC is the psychoactive component of CBD, of the hemp and the marijuana plant. It is what gives you the high. The truth is it activates something called CB1 receptors that are in the brain. It's got some positive benefits, mainly in certain serious pain conditions, because it literally makes your brain kind of numb to it, all right? If you imagine being stoned, that's what that would do. That's the THC at work. Now, so the CBD oil that we're talking about is not CBD oil from medical marijuana, okay? Because once again, that has high THC, and you know what? Once again, I'm from the 80s. Nancy Reagan just said no. I believed her, all right? So I've been a just say no kid ever since. But the CBD oil from industrial hemp, all right? Now, CBD oil from industrial hemp has less than 0.3% THC by dry weight. Now, what does that mean to you? It means it literally has almost none. So there is no psychoactive effect of this CBD oil. And at that level, that also makes it 100% legal in all 50 states. So Dr. Jim and Nicole do not have a pot farm in their basement. All right? I work with completely legal, perfectly healthy CBD oil. All right? Very, very pure. And it even comes in hemp seed oil foundation, which if you just Google hemp seed oil, you'll realize that hemp seed oil is even better for you than fish oil. So we could save a lot of fish if we just use the hemp seed oil instead of killing all the fish for the fish oil, all right? But CBD oil is, the CBD oil we're talking about comes from industrial hemp, not from medical marijuana, and that makes a big difference, all right? So what does CBD oil do for inflammation? That's the whole point of this talk, right? Well, we talked about how inflammation, anything that ends in itis, can wreak havoc all over the body, and is that actually probably the root cause of almost all disease processes. There's inflammation involved. Well, what CBD oil does is it has an impact on the immune system. It is what is called an immune system modulator. Now, why? What's important about calling it a modulator? Well, this is the thing. There are drugs out there right now that you can take that are basically anti-inflammatories. You can take a steroid, and a steroid will squelch your immune response, okay? You can take NSAIDs, and they will squelch your immune response. But guess what? Guess what? First of all, we know that steroids have all kinds of negative side effects that we really don't want. If you've ever seen or been somebody who's had to take long-term prednisone, it's not good. I mean, your face swells up, you get like a buffalo hump. It's not good. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be on long-term prednisone. But this is the difference. These type of substances, let's say prednisone, a steroid squashes your immune system. It literally takes both sides of your immune system and suppresses it. Okay? So if you've ever heard them say, well, don't take this if you've ever been somewhere where there was, if you've ever touched a doorknob, if you've ever been somewhere where there might be a fungus. The reason is because they have now suppressed your immune system. That's what an anti-inflammatory does, is it just suppresses, okay? When I say that CBD oil is an immune system modulator, what that means is it actually takes places where the immune system is out of control, where it's like, let's say, like allergies is out of control. Eczema, psoriasis, these are places where the immune system is out of control. It takes the side that's way, way too high, and it helps bring that down. Now, modulation does the other part too, is it takes the side that's way, way too low, and it helps bring that up. That's what immune modulation means. It helps bring balance to your immune system, okay? So prednisone actually creates an imbalance. It takes both sides of your immune system and just squashes them. So it's not even working. I mean, that doesn't sound like something I would want, because they'll tell you if you're on prednisone for a long, long period of time, you got to be careful you don't end up with cancer. Why? Because your immune system actually helps you fight against cancer. So I don't really want anything that just suppresses my immune system willy-nilly, right? I want something that helps modulate it, keep it in balance, so that my body can do what it needs to do, all right? And CBD oil does that by having an impact on something called the endocannabinoid system. Now, endocannabinoid system, think about this. There are literally cannabinoids named for cannabis that they discovered in 1992 while studying the effects of marijuana. They realized there are literally substances that our bodies make that mimic those very same things. And we have receptors throughout our entire body. We have a lot of CB1 receptors in our brain, and then we have CB2 receptors spread throughout our entire body, especially in places like our immune system. So, why is that important? Well, we just talked about how important the immune system is, and that inflammation's really your immune system gone crazy. And so if we can help modulate your immune system, what do you think that's going to do for your body? What do you think that's going to do for your health? Think about autoimmune conditions. Things like, and I'm not going to get into the list of names because that's not we're just going to keep names out of it. But you know what they are. You know all the different ones, from your gut to your skin, because we name the autoimmune conditions based on what they're attacking. But this is what's important to understand about autoimmune conditions. What they all have in common is an imbalance in the immune system. You either have too many cells attacking things or too many cells marking things to be attacked. But that imbalance is what creates the situation where your body thinks it's okay to attack your own body. All right? That's what autoimmune problems are. So I don't care what we name them, because we just name them according to the tissue they're attacking. If they're attacking your thyroid, we name it one thing. If it's attacking your cartilage, we name it something else. If it's attacking your brain and your nervous system, we name it something else. If it attacks your pancreas, makes it so you can't make insulin anymore, we call it something else. But it doesn't really matter what we call it. It's an autoimmune condition. And that is an imbalance in your immune system. So when you take CBD oil, it helps modulate your immune response. So when I say modulate your immune response, it literally helps bring balance to your immune system. Now, do you think that's going to help in a situation where you have an autoimmune condition? Absolutely. Is that going to help your health? Absolutely. So if we start off with the idea that inflammation has its very, very heart or its root in almost every disease process that we know, okay? And then we know that CBD oil from industrial hemp with a high CBD, clean, high CBD count has a modulatory effect on your immune system, meaning it will bring down what's high and help increase, hey Brandy, I see you, and helps bring up the side that's too low. Then what we know is that it's going to have a positive impact on anything that ends in itis, all right? So this is what I want you to know. Anything that ends in itis, you need help with it, we can help you with it, all right? So a lot of people are concerned because they're like, Doc, I've been hearing this kind of information everywhere. I started talking to my patients about it, and they're like, yeah, I heard of CBD. I read some research. I just don't know what to do about it. I don't know what, there's, and this is what happens. It's kind of like when a dog breed gets really popular, and then all of a sudden, there's 47 golden retriever breeders in the paper. Not all of them are going to be really good, right? I mean, a lot of them are going to be suspect and not great, okay? So what I did to protect my patients and really my community is I went out and I started researching CBD oil, and I started researching companies that had what I wanted. And since a tremendous amount of my patients have arthritis and pain, I wanted something, because when you treat arthritis and pain naturally, what you really want, if you're going to have something that helps inflammation and modulate the immune system, you want something that you can do both systemically to affect systemic inflammation, and then you want something that you can put directly on the spot. My mom is on. Hey, Mom. And evidently I'm reaching all over the world right now. It's great. So you want oils that you put both. You want something that you can take both systemically, and then something you can put directly on the spot, so that you can get both a topical impact and an entire sort of systemic anti-inflammatory response. So when I recommend to my patients is, I looked for a company that had both the best oil that I thought was around. Okay, and I'm here to tell you, there are good companies everywhere. Okay, and I'm sure there are other good companies that do CBD oil. However, what I did was I did my own research, and it led me to this company. And so I have a specific recommendation, because I wanted something that my patients could take systemically, like an oil. I wasn't looking for people to be able to vape and do all that kind of stuff. I just didn't think. I don't promote smoking, so I really wasn't into that. So I was looking for something they could take, internally. I also wanted something not an edible, not like a pill, because a pill has to go through your digestive tract. And when you put a pill through your digestive tract, you lose a tremendous amount as it runs through the liver, okay? And so what I wanted something that you could absorb sublingually, under your tongue. And so this company has an oil, you put it underneath your tongue, hold it for 2 minutes and you swallow it, okay? Do that a couple times a day and the anti-inflammatory impact is phenomenal. Now, what they also have is they have a relief cream. And that relief cream, what I have people do is I have them start the oil, but then I also say, hey, you know that carpal tunnel you've been dealing with? You know that bad knee, the elbow, the shoulder? You know, we've been adjusting your neck now for a week, and listen, we know you're up there in a couple years and you got a lot of arthritis in there. I think in addition to what we're doing, you should also use these products. And so you can literally take that cream and put it on the back of your neck, take the oil orally, and those two things synergistically working together have a tremendous impact on overall inflammation. And when you reduce all that inflammation, it goes a very long way to reducing pain, which is very cool. All right. So not only are we going to talk about, can you reduce pain? You can reduce inflammation. But people ask me, well, then should I just take it like when I hurt? Well, if I don't hurt, should I just take it as needed? Like, take it as needed. Well, when don't you need to be reducing inflammation in your body? When is it not a good idea to keep your inflammation under control? When is it not a good idea to be taking antioxidants and neuroprotecting yourself? I think that's always a good idea. So as needed, as far as I'm concerned, is as needed every day, okay? Now, you may decide to use the cream topically as needed, but the oil that goes underneath your tongue, that is now a daily part of my regimen, okay? It's my wife's. I have a 10-year-old son. We started with putting it on here. Now we do a couple drops underneath his tongue every day just so that he can also get the benefits. All right. So this is what I want. There's no such thing as that needed. It's needed every day and you should take it every day. So I picked a company that had both an oil and a cream so that we could work at it from both directions. And I think that's really important. Now, I've seen a lot of people get on here. I recognize a lot of these names. I thank you guys for coming on. It's really awesome. So what I'm going to tell you is a few things. I hope you got a lot out of tonight. I plan to do more lives. I kind of feel like my role, or a part of my role in this whole process, is to be an educational resource so that if you have questions, if you don't know what's going on, if you want to know more about the science of CBD and how it works, I'm here for you. Anybody who is on here tonight that needs more information about CBD oil and how it works, then I'm here for you. Please reach out, message me through this page, and I will help you. Also, I know that there's a lot of my friends on here that are also reps for the company with the oils that we use. I highly recommend, if you need help with that, please, I will answer your people's questions, and they can certainly, I will send them back to you to make sure that, they're getting the information that they should, and then you can help them make the order. But I did want everyone to know, if you are interested in ordering the types of CBD products that I'm talking about, if you're interested in knowing more about what I would recommend for you based on your situation, in the comments below, just type like info, I am, info, and then you can be like, info and what, just info. And then I'll direct message you. So we're not going to air your health concerns out there in front of everybody, but I'll message you back and we'll get in a conversation and find out what you're really looking for. I do want everybody to know that there is an awesome business opportunity associated with CBD oil. If you've heard about CBD oil and what's going on out in the world, you know that this is really blowing up across the globe right now. And this is just literally the very beginning of this. And that's why I decided to get involved, because I really think that we're already building a really big team. And I just happen to, be a part of that, and I'm excited about it. And I think we're going to make a lot of people. Not only are we going to help a lot of people in their health, but I think the business opportunity has the ability to help a lot of people's finances, and I think that'd be really awesome too. So you can message me about info, the products, info, the business opportunity. If you are referred here from somebody else, I'll just find out who and what, and I will make sure that you get back to them. But please message me for info on products and anything that I can help you with. It's been awesome, and I hope to post this now again, and I'm going to do more of these. But thank you guys. Have an awesome night. Now, one thing I want to say before we leave. Number one, I tell this to my son every day before he goes to school. I want you to be your very best today. Be your very best. Hashtag never quit. And if nobody has ever said this to you, I want you to know this. I believe God wants the very, very best for you. And the second you believe that, it will change your life. Have an awesome night.